So welcome to Bristol Street Motors. I'm here today to give you an introduction to the brand new highly anticipated Peugeot 408. First start off with Peugeot's brand new badge. This shield itself is made of indium, so behind there is where the ADAS system is stored for the adaptive cruise control, etc. On the GT you get a body coloured grille which sort of morphs into the rest of the bodywork, and heading round towards the lights you've got Peugeot's signature Fang daytime running lights. Now on the GT the headlights are full LED matrix. Moving around to the side of the vehicle, we have your alloy wheels. So these start from 17-inch on the Allure all the way up to the 19s on the GT. This particular vehicle has the 20-inch monolith wheels. Moving up onto the door, on either side of the GT you have the Peugeot badges to signify that it is a GT, and up to your wing mirror you have your LED indicators as well as blind spot monitoring on those. And then across here you do have keyless entry, so you don't require the key to unlock the door as such, just in your pocket or even just walk away to lock the car. And from the B pillar backwards we have your really dark tinted privacy glass, which again adds to the luxury feel and gives it a bit of a sporty look. So one final thing before we head round to the rear of the vehicle, here we have your charging area. So you can plug in your vehicle with a typical 3-pin domestic plug socket, which will take about 7.5 hours to fully charge the vehicle, so a good overnight charge. With the standard charger that comes on board, it will take you roughly 3.5 hours to fully charge, and with the optional 7.4 kilowatt onboard charger, the vehicle will charge itself within an hour and a half. This vehicle in the hybrid, in both the 180 and the 225 horsepower train, does 40 miles on full electric. So heading round to the back of the vehicle, we've got more of Peugeot signature styling, which include the Peugeot 3D claw lights. So these are quite intricate, as you can see. To improve aerodynamic efficiency, they've got something that they call sort of the cat ears as part of the styling and the design of the body, and again just the signature badge. So heading down to the bottom of the vehicle we find your camera, which has a handy little washer on it, so even when the car's a little bit mucky you'll still be able to park all right. And then you've got your rear sensors, which will work in conjunction with your front sensors as well. So opening up your tailgate, there's 4 different ways, unbelievably. So you have a button in the front of the car which you can click twice and that'll open the boot. You have your key and the usual button on the boot, as well as the foot swipe, which also opens the vehicle up for you. The boot size in this hybrid is 471 litres. However, if you pop the back seats down with the magic handles, which are these handy little features here, that puts them down nice and flat, and you can maximise your boot space to get 1,575 litres. So to close the boot you simply press this button here and the car does all the work for you once again. So that's the boot and the exterior done. Let's have a look inside. So now I'm sat in the back of the Peugeot 408, which has been designed in mind of legroom. So there's 188mm of legroom here, which will accommodate for taller people, so bigger families for example. I'm 5'2", so as you can imagine there's plenty of space for me, but even if I was that little bit taller there'd be plenty more room. Driving seat is set as I would sit as well. Headroom wise, plenty of headroom as well. I also quite like the hard backs on these seats. You've got your ISOFIX mount on your outer 2 seats, which will make fitting child car seats really easy. This section in the middle here, as well as being a seat, does fold down to have cup holders or a bit of an armrest, as well as a ski hatch hidden in there as well. You've also got things for additional comfort for your passengers in the back, such as the air conditioning and USB ports. So now we're in the driver's seat of the car, the main event. So starting off strong, Peugeot with their signature small steering wheel. So flat bottom, flat top, completely customisable. So if you're switching between drivers, I find it again really accessible. What I love most about this car is the luxury feel to it. So you've got your Alcantara around the door sills, along with the interior ambient lighting, which is interchangeable. You've got your leather across all your dash with the adamite green stitching, which again is repeated throughout the seat, so it gives a nice cohesion to the car. The centre console I find amazing to use, so it's gently angled towards the driver. You can see you've got your navigation, your e-save, which is part of the hybrid vehicles, so it will regen itself to get some charge back in the battery. Application drawer, so this has literally everything on here which you can use to customise your eye toggles. So to change them, it's really simple. You can just press and hold the one you want to change, and then all your options come up here. So we can add in the ADAS system, in which you can turn off your lane keeping assist, see all your functions and different tutorials within there. This whole screen, this whole section here, is completely customizable. So if you press and hold on the screen, when this circle fills, you can see you customize your touch screen. So within here you can add different pages, in which you can add different widgets, etc. So if you'd like to add your ADAS system on the same screen, or you'd like say for example your mirror screen in a large bit like this, then you can do all of that. And you can also do the same for your Peugeot 3D cockpit. So all of the 408s across the range come with a fully digital display. However, on the GT it is a 3D cluster, as they call it. So you can switch this and change it around to whatever you're sort of most comfortable with. So if you've got your nav set, you can easily see the road ahead of you as well as the instructions without having to keep looking over back at your screen. And again, this is completely customizable to you. If you wanted to change your driver information, you can go on here and add different things, so you can change that. Your navigation is built in from, I believe, the Allure upwards, which is 3 years TomTom. As an optional feature on the GT, you can add the smartphone charging plate, but the rest of the vehicles will still be laid out in this sort of way. So you'll still have all your different drive modes, which include electric, hybrid on this particular vehicle, and sport. You've got your cup holders nicely tucked away within there. This has a USB-C and a 12-volt socket as well, so if you were to plug your phone in, if you went for example, an Allure model where you didn't have the Apple CarPlay, you'd be able to do that there. Or you can tuck it gently away inside this section here, which has a USB-C in also, which is a butterfly closing. So from a driving aspect, the car is really comfortable to drive, the seating position is really comfortable. I really like the fact that Peugeot's really thought about the driver in this car, so everything is sort of angled gently towards the driver to not take your attention away from the road. Even just the aircon and things like that, but it's not anything that could make a passenger uncomfortable. The car does pick up speed really well as well, so this is the 225 brake horsepower version, but they do offer it in a 180 hybrid as well. They also offer it in a just a normal petrol automatic, as well as hopefully shortly coming a fully electric version of the 408 as well. The gearbox is the 8-speed automatic, so that's probably why it feels that little bit smoother and such, but you still have the paddles at the back to be able to downshift a gear and upshift a gear if you chose to. So you can split between sport mode, electric and hybrid. So I'm currently in hybrid, but if I was to switch this into sport, there is an option within the settings to activate a sport sound. So when you do put your foot down, you can hear coming through the speakers a little bit more noise, which again adds to that sportier sort of feel without the consumption. So in comparison to my 208, I think it drives similar in a lot of ways. There's a lot of similar sort of Peugeot feels, same sort of steering wheel. The handling feels quite the same. I expected it to feel quite a bit heavier because it's a heavier car naturally being bigger, but it doesn't feel too big going around corners and things like that. I find having your nav straight in front of you as well, so I'm that person that can either never keep the same song on, or I'm always splitting between hot and cold, things like that. To have my nav straight in front of me on here when I'm going somewhere I don't know takes the stress away from the journey a little bit. The Peugeot has a lot of safety features as well, which I really like. So the blind spot monitoring, so the long range detection is up to 75 metres. There's then there's a rear cross traffic alert within this one, so it has almost like little sensors in the back, in the rear quarters, which will sense if something's nearby and give you an alert. You've got all your active safety brake and things like that, so it will warn you of any obstacles close by in front. So that's the video tour complete of the Peugeot 408. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you would like any more information, please visit our website bristolstreet.co.uk.